So I think we are live. Hi, Demy.
Hi, Katie. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A bit muggy and hot, but otherwise, otherwise
So
very good.
hot,
Thank
isn't
you.
it?
Yeah, it
I
is.
thought,
It's really hot.
I thought that the thunder would clear it, but I'm feeling even muggier.
It's back to the muggy.
So thank you so much for joining us this evening. I spoke to you a few days ago and heard about your story, and I just thought it's so inspirational to hear like a real career change story. And we've been working with Supermums now for the past year or so. And hearing about the courses and the training, but actually to speak to someone who's been through it and come out the other side of it and kind of puts the real life experience on it, it's really helpful, I think, for people. So I thought that if we get you in, you can share your story.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll inspire others.
Yeah.
So if you're watching and you are live, maybe just give us a little thumbs up and just tell us that you're here and that you are watching, little thumbs up or a hello. And for anyone watching us on replay, because I know that lots of people will be catching up with this later, maybe just type in replay so that I know that you're watching. And you can ask any questions either live or on replay using the chat box. And if we've got questions, then I'll ask Demy at the end. And Demy's in the group, so she can come in. So I wanted Demy, I just said, to come in because she has done a really inspirational career change. And I think so many people in the group are thinking about what next, and they don't necessarily want to stay in their careers. And, so this is a really great example of someone who's done that. Demy ran her own business for 10 years, and I know that you really wanted a career change, and I'm going to let you tell your own story. But you came across Supermums, didn't you, the training, and decided to join their Salesforce Admin Course?
Yes, correct.
So I'm going to let you sort of share the story. Don't want to give too much away. So why don't you start with a bit of background, kind of what you were doing before and how and what led you to the Supermums Admin Course?
Absolutely. Thank you for that introduction, Katie. So hi, everyone. I'm Demy. And yes, I changed careers last year. Prior to this, I've had my own publishing business. So I used to write and publish books on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. So I did that for 6 years. And prior to that, I ran a franchise. So basically, when I got married, I didn't want to go back to work and put my kids in full-time nursery. So that's why I decided to step up and just run my own business. And the franchise was great. But I found that I was pulling away from my kids and they were being put in nursery longer hours. So sold the franchise at profit. And then I decided to write, which is something I've always done on the side. I got a small publishing deal with the press company in the States. That was brilliant. And then around that sort of time, Kindle Direct Publishing had come onto the scene. And I decided that I was going to try and write and publish myself. That involved wearing many hats, from writing itself to media, to marketing, to ads. And it's been a really fantastic learning curve. But around sort of COVID time, I think I had a bit of an awakening almost. I decided that a dark night of the soul, and I decided that I wanted to do something different because it just felt a little bit lonely. And I saw all these people, during COVID, they were still part of something bigger. They were working at home, but still part of something. And I felt that I was just there, my little old self, writing these books, had some great writers I worked with, but they're all freelance. And then I decided I wanted something different, but I didn't know what that looked like or where I'd land. And so I started scouting out some groups, and I came across Flexible Working People. And I remember it was sort of around January time last year, there was a post by Heather, who's the CEO of Supermums. And she had this ad saying that, do you want to change careers? Do you want to learn Salesforce and train as an administrator? And completely honest, I hadn't even heard of Salesforce before. I had no idea. I don't come from a tech background. I'm very happy writing my stories in my little fictitious worlds. So completely new to me, but I looked into it, and there was a course starting at the end of February. So I didn't have much time. The closing date was, I think, end of that January, end of that month. We were mid-January by then, but I did quite a bit of research, spoke to my husband and said that, look, I want something more, that I wanted to get back something. I said it's quite lonely just being a mum at home, just doing the school runs back home, wanted to be part of something bigger. And I guess I missed that contact of working with people, going into an office. And my husband was very supportive, and, he said that he was very happy for me if I wanted to change career. And yeah, so I came across the Salesforce Administrator course.
Amazing. So it's still quite a big jump to go from I want to do something different, I'm doing my own thing, to actually want something bigger, and you see it. But what was it that attracted you to Supermums and to the course? What was it about it when you were thinking, actually, this could be for me?
Sure. I mean, there is ways to learn Salesforce. There's Trailhead, which is a learning platform that Salesforce provide, and you can go on there and you can do badges. It's very much like a gamified learning platform, and you can learn it yourself, and it's absolutely free. But for me, I wanted, because I was changing careers, I wanted something structured, and I wanted something that was course-led and teacher-led, and that's what I found Supermums gave me. There was learning each week, like live classroom learning. And for those that were working who couldn't make the sessions, they were always recorded. You also got given a mentor that you could sort of speak to each week to discuss any problems or any issues you had with your learning. So for me, it was having that structure, Katie, that made all the difference.
That's true. So some people do say, Salesforce offers free training, but it's a completely different type of opportunity, isn't it? Because it doesn't offer the structure. It's like self-teaching as opposed to taking you through all the modules, having help and support and structure around it. And we're going to get on to why else it's good, because in the end, Supermums actually helped you to get your first job. So that's a whole nother thing. We'll come to that later.
Yeah.
So what was important to you in your career change? What was it that you were looking for in your next move?
Well, completely transparently, I didn't want to take a massive pay cut. I couldn't afford to take that huge pay cut. So I wanted a career that, I could see that I would, if I put a little bit of graft work in to start with, I could see that I could earn a lot more and, perhaps bypass the salary that I currently was with my self-employment. And Salesforce, training in Salesforce gave me that option because the career paths, it's #1 CRM, it's a great career path, there's loads of opportunity. And I thought that was the right career for me because of all the options available to me afterwards.
So tell us about the course itself. How long did it take to train? I know you said that it was structured, and hours, and how long did it take?
Sure. So we had 3 hours of classroom-based learning a week with our instructor. And that's where she would go through a topic each week, and then we would be set homework, which would be trailheads, which were relevant to the work that we would have learnt. And then we also had like a live org that we would go into, like a Salesforce instance, where we would go and practice what we've learnt and build it out in the org. So it was very much blended learning. It was classroom based, it was hands-on learning, and then anything that we were stuck with, we would go to our mentor and say, like, hey, I can't figure this out. How does this work in the platform? What does this mean? And you'd have that extra hour a week just to go through and just, have that extra support. So the course was actually 6 months. It started at the end of February, and it took us right through until August, that 6-month course.
And when was August? That was last August.
Last August, yeah, it was. I mean, some people, finished a little bit earlier because the last bit of the course was actually live work experience. They place you with a charity, so you can actually put your skills to use with a live charity. Just to jump ahead there, I didn't do that part because I was quite fortunate. I took my exam in June when I passed that. To my surprise, I passed my exam. I was fortunate that Salesforce, Supermums have a Salesforce recruitment arm, and I used them, and I actually got a contract pretty much.
I know, so that's brilliant. So I think that's a really big piece of the puzzle here. So when I was listening to this, because a lot of people will want to know, so you did the course and then what? And what happened next for you was amazing. You finished the course, and so I'm just going to repeat that because I think it's a really important piece. So Demy said that at the end of the course, Supermums have got their own recruitment arm, and so they helped, didn't they? They helped you. They help the people who come out training the other side to find jobs, which is amazing. It's not just come on the course and then we leave you stranded. It's like come on the course and actually we're really connected and we can help you, introduce you to companies to help you find a job.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously nothing is guaranteed, but they'll certainly do their best. And, the fact that they've got to know you over those 4 or 5 months while you've been training, it definitely helps, I think. They get to know your personality. There's also like a coaching call you can have with a really great coach, just to find out where your strengths are. There's advice on how to polish up your CV. So they really help you all the way, I think. So.
Okay, and you did the admin course with a view to becoming a Salesforce administrator.
Right, exactly. So that's the kind of start of the Salesforce certifications, is a Salesforce administrator. And then from there, you can decide which sort of route you want to go. Some people are very happy to stay Salesforce administrators, which is it's pretty much tinkering with the platform. It's being a problem solver. It's, someone will come to you and say, I can't figure out this. How do you work this rule? Or how does this work? And that's what an administrator is basically. I was an administrator. Obviously, I did the course, did an exam, and got my certification as an administrator. But I then got a job at Salesforce itself to start in September, and that role was a solution engineer, which was slightly different, obviously, to administrator, which is what I am now, as a solution engineer.
And how did you? So let's just go back to the administrator. So I think that you can get trained as an administrator, and you can get a job as a Salesforce administrator.
Exactly.
And you work with companies as their Salesforce administrator?
Yes, exactly. So normally you can have been, if you're in a large company, they might have maybe a couple of Salesforce administrators, and might maybe a senior and you might be a junior. But a lot of companies can't afford to have 2 or 3, so they might just have a solo administrator. So it's up to you to kind of be that face of that platform and just make it work for everyone. When I got the contract, I was a solo Salesforce administrator.
Okay. So let's just go talk about numbers just for a minute, because I think that people want to know questions like, well, how much does the course cost and how much do you get paid? And when we do talk about Supermums, Heather's really transparent always about it, and says it's a lucrative career. And I think people want to know what that means. So about how much was the course that you did?
Yeah, sure. So I paid £2,200 for the course. That was obviously for 6 months with all your learning materials and your mentor and classroom-based learning. But then when I got the contract, I immediately earned £275 a day, so the day rate. So I pretty much paid back my course in less than 10 days.
Which is
so to me, it was an incredible, to get that contract. I was really happy, really lucky. And I paid back my course fee very quickly.
And obviously we're not here saying that everybody who does a course is going to make back, in 10 days and be Demy. But we're just using you as an example of what's possible and what happened for you, which is you did the course and you were lucky enough to get a contract and paid it off in 10 days. So it's a very real life example.
Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantee everyone's going to get that, but the opportunity was there and it worked out for me. So
Okay, and now you said you're doing a different role. Did you have to retrain to do the different role?
No, the good thing is I started Salesforce in September. There was a position that came up for solution engineers, and what attracted me to that role was it was very much 1 foot in the commercial side and 1 foot in the technical side, and there's a lot of storytelling involved for a solution engineer, and so I could use my storytelling background, which was perfect for me. The commercial side, I can use my business experience. And the technical side is what I've been learning. So that role kind of suits me more so than an administrator, because I like to talk to clients. I like working with people. It's a bit more customer facing. So the solution engineer was more sort of what I wanted to do eventually. And this position came up at Salesforce, and they were training a whole batch of people to come in. So lots of graduates, lots of returners like myself. And I got the role there. And basically, it was loads of amazing enablement. So we learnt the core products of Salesforce, learnt how to speak to customers, how to do demonstrations to them. So, they come to you and they might have loads of different siloed systems. You might say that you might show them Salesforce and how that can help improve their business and their systems.
And I just think it's brilliant because you literally did the course last year, and now you've gone through the course and you've already moved out of the admin role out of choice, not that
out of choice,
to something that suits you better.
Yes, exactly. And I've been really fortunate. I mean, I will say unfortunately I got caught up in the Salesforce redundancies earlier this year. But having said that, because I had a good 6-7 months at Salesforce, I have got a role now at a Salesforce partner, so I wasn't out of work at all. So I work for an amazing implementation partner, which is Salesforce partner. It's the same thing. It's consultancy now. So I work in a consultancy, solution engineer once again. We just work with customers who actually bought the licenses from Salesforce and they want to now implement Salesforce into their business. So,
are you finding these roles on your own, or is Supermums helping you find these?
For this role, I think because I was at Salesforce, I had quite a few contacts, so I was able to just reach out through LinkedIn. So I found this position on my own.
Amazing. And so tell me at the beginning you said that you weren't happy doing what you're doing, and now you're doing this. Does this tick all the boxes for you? Are you happier? Does it help you to have, what does the flexibility look like?
Yeah, I think I am definitely happier. I feel like I have grown so much in this year. I mean, when I look back to last June. I think I just did my exam around this time last year. So I feel like I've come so far in a year. It's amazing. And it's given me a chance to grow and develop both personally and professionally. So I've loved those connections. I've met some amazing people. In terms of flexibility, I must admit I was worried because I've been on my own for 10 years. I only reported to myself, and I was thinking, how will I, get used to reporting to someone else? But I've been very fortunate. The jobs at Salesforce is very flexible. I could do the school run, so I was able to take that time out. And similarly now at the partner, they're very open. As long as you're transparent in what you're up to, everyone's treated as an adult. It's not, you don't have to be clock watching. You can do your own thing as long as you, fulfill your needs. So yeah.
Yeah. And are there options? Because you said that when you started, it was a contract role and it was on a day rate, and now this is an employed role. So presumably there are options to do.
There are options, exactly what you want to do. I mean, I'll be honest, most contractors, they probably want someone with experience because they just want someone to hit the ground running, as opposed to a permanent role where they might be more willing to take a junior on and then train them up. And but there are options out there where people will be taking, especially coming from Supermums, because it's got such a great reputation. So clients are more, they know that how well we've been trained with Supermums, so they're happy to take that risk and take someone on as a contractor. I think Katie might have frozen slightly. Just wait for her to come back.
Yeah, we lost connection.
Sorry, there you go. We're back.
That's the Wi-Fi. Sorry, so you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that. I lost my train of thought there, Katie. Sorry, we were just talking about
contract versus employed.
Yeah.
And you were saying?
Just say that. Yeah, I mean, often companies might take on someone with more experience to do a contracting role. But not to say that there isn't anything out there, because they really value the training that we get at Supermums. Yeah.
Okay, so what would your advice be to anybody thinking about this as a next step? What would you say?
Definitely do your research. Have a look at salesforce.com, because there's a lot of information on there in terms of career paths. Have a look and see, is there something that you could see yourself, doing? If there's marketing, you can on the marketing role, you can on the administrator role. So you can use your background, and you have so many transferable skills that you can bring to Salesforce. So don't think that just because you don't come from a tech background that you're automatically ruled out, because I didn't, as we know.
And even better.
Yeah.
So tech is such a huge growth area, and to be able to retrain, not have to have a tech background, and in 6 months be kind of ready to go into the job market.
Exactly.
With really earning potential is amazing.
Definitely. So it really is a great career path. And, I haven't ever had a day where I've regretted it or thought to myself, oh, I wish I hadn't back in my own business. I've loved, every month has been new experiences and growing experiences. So
it's amazing.
I hope that's helped. Yeah.
Brilliant. No, I love it. And I just think that having you tell your own story is just, it just brings to life what the opportunity is. I think we talk a lot about going on the courses and Supermums, and I just think that until you kind of meet someone who says, actually, this was my journey and this is kind of how it worked for me, it's like a real life person who's done it.
Yes, definitely.
It helps people to feel like it could be me and I could be doing that.
So, definitely. And I think, with Supermums as well, that, everyone that you meet on your cohort, you're all like, everyone's so friendly and help, people all come from different walks of life, but you've got children in common immediately, so everyone wants that sort of flexible work where you can work around your kids. It's the number one thing for most of them.
And Heather's a massive advocate, as we know, of that, and growing her own business and doing this to help other people to the same, afford a good life and have the flexibility of a good career. Exactly. So thank you so much. If anyone's got any questions or they want to reach out to you, can they drop you a little note?
If anybody has in a company and think that they might want to think about Salesforce, we offer free strategy calls, or if you haven't Salesforce instance, you're not maybe using it to its advantage, you can have a free health check as well. So so feel free to reach out if that's something that might be of interest to you.
Amazing. So just to reiterate to what Demy said, you can obviously reach out to Demy, but also reach out to Heather, go onto the website, do your research, have a look, see what the different options are, and if you're interested, book a call with one of the team. And there's no sell people, they just want to talk to interested people to see if it could be the right opportunity for you. So Demy, thank you so much for sharing your story. Honestly, when I met you and started talking to you, I was like, this is perfect. And also you found it even better through the Facebook group community.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You were there, like lots of the other people in our community, thinking, I want to do something different. We talk about it all the time. I'm always banging the drum and saying, I know that there's loads of people in this community who want career change. And I'm trying to lift the lid and, you know, showcase all the different amazing opportunities. So I love the fact that you are a case study, one of our own who has managed to
Thank you. And you do an amazing job with your page, Katie. And congratulations to your number today as well. We were talking about it just before.
Oh, yeah. So while I'm on then, I will, because you brought it up. Yeah, we hit 50,000 today, 50,000 members. So I'm like really happy. We've been saying we've got 50,000 as we were like 49.567, but we hadn't actually hit the 50 mark. And we hit it today. In fact, I was saying to you, we had 800 people joining over the weekend. 800 people joining over the weekend. So if any of you are listening, then welcome. And I hope that Demy's story has inspired you. Yeah, so that's really exciting. So listen, it's so lovely to speak to you. I'm going to let you get on with your evening. And I know that you were massively keen on doing a Facebook Live. So I'm really grateful for you. Oh my God, it's quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much. And congratulations to your page as well. Nice speaking to you.
Nice speaking to you.
Take care. Bye. Bye.